Well, it was a hard-fought victory, and we knew coming in that their record wasn't who they were. They were a physical bunch, and we knew we were going to have to come to play. And it was good to see that our guys played for 60 minutes. And we talk about, playing for 60 minutes around here, and if something good happens, keep playing. If something bad happens, just to keep playing. And, it was really good to see those guys fight through adversity and finish the football game.
Was there anything that stood out to you after watching the tape that you didn't necessarily see after the game?
Well, before the game, we found out in pregame warm-ups that they had to change the defensive coordinator. So our offensive coaches, had to make some in-game adjustments, quite a few in-game adjustments, because they ran a lot of stuff that we hadn't seen. And we had, a couple freshman offensive linemen out there, so it took us a while to get settled down and get things going. But I thought offensively we did some things well, but I thought we left a lot of plays out there. I thought we could have had some more explosive plays.
The danger, I guess, of playing a team. You got beat like Howard. We got beat pretty bad last week. Is it sneaky because your guys were looking at like, okay, is it a cakewalk, or tricky because Howard's probably going to come out hungry and fighting because they're back home and they did get embarrassed last week?
I think they're going to bounce back, and they're a well-coached football team. They're young like we are, and they're playing at home, so they have a lot to play for. And they have a very experienced coaching staff. A lot of those guys were major P5 programs, and a couple of those guys came from the NFL. So I'm sure they'll have them prepared. But it's about us, and we can't really worry about what Howard feels, how they feel. We just have to come play and get better this week.
You talk about your youth. I mean, how fun is it from a coaching standpoint to build those guys up, knowing that you'll have these guys here for a couple more years, and there's something to look forward to, I'm sure.
We have a bright future, but I hope they grow up a lot faster by this Saturday. But I can't say enough, and I said from day one here that we were a very talented but young football team, and experience has a lot to do with it. But these young guys, I mean, they're fun to be around. And when I got the roster, I saw that our equipment manager put this little kid in number 31, and that was the first number I was going to ask about, who was wearing 31. And I think we gave 31 to the right person.
Can you explain why? Why is number 31 special to you?
I had the opportunity to wear 31 back when I played here. So, that number's special to me. And, to see a young man like Brandon, and just a great young man, comes from a great family, and, for him to have that explosive play that he did to seal the game, that was something.
Talk about your young guys growing up. When do you see the payoff from a game like Saturday, as far as like being in that big moment, like Brandon with a kick return, or Davius being in a game that scored change so much in the late in the second half? Do you see that experience kick in down the road, or is it something that may pay dividends for you guys this year?
But it'll definitely pay dividends this year, and we work on a whole lot of situations every day in practice. We'll give the guys certain situations where it's coming out, or certain 2-minute situations, or 4-minute, and offense has to get a first down to seal the game. So we saw a bunch of those situations Saturday. We had a 4-minute situation where we get one first down, we seal the game, and we fumble the football. Then we had a couple coming out. Then we had the big kickoff return, as well as another 2-minute situation late. So to see those guys take the coaching and execute that on Saturday is huge. Yeah.
And Brandon's a local guy too, so for him to come and have a pretty good freshman season so far, let's talk about his experience and what he's brought to you guys this year.
Well, he has an outstanding attitude. He's an athletic young man, and he is from Raleigh, right around the corner. And he works extremely hard, and he's handled the return duties for us this season, and he works every day to get better. And he's going to be an outstanding defensive back for us when he gets a little bit older back there as well. But it's just good to see guys when they work hard, and the hard work pay off.
What do you got to do as a young guy to kind of catch your eye to get that spot, the return spot?
First of all, he can catch the ball. We lost a couple returners from last year's squad, so we didn't have a whole lot of depth back there. But he's elusive. He's courageous, so he's not going to be tiptoeing everything else. He tries to hit the hole. And like you saw Saturday, he hit the hole, and it was some contact, and he kept running his feet and broke a tackle. And he was able to hold some people off. So, it's just good to see that.
Because he wears 31.
Yeah, he wore black socks to practice the other day, so I had to up down him for that. We wear white socks, so I'm on him. But he's a little faster than the old 31, much faster than the old 31.
Speaking of which, I mean, a lot of people paid attention to the game-winning kickoff return, but he also may have saved a touchdown when he tracked down the kickoff returner for Delaware State, showing his speed in that play as well.
Yes, and again, playing to the whistle, and that's the type, kids we want in this program. Just playing hard, playing to the whistle, and he executed his assignment. We gave up a big return, but he hustled down and got the guy on the ground, which was a big turning point in the game for us.
Coach, how different is it for you preparing your team coming off a win compared to coming off a loss? Is their focus a little bit more easier to handle, coming off a win compared to a loss?
Definitely. And the guys, the couple losses that we had this year, the guys did, they continue to have a positive attitude and great work ethic. But, they have a little bit more bounce in their step at practice, coming off of a win. And especially, a close game like that. And, we talk about having a thermostat mentality, not too high, not too low. And for those guys to be, feel the lows and feel the highs and still be able to finish the game, was good to see.
I know you probably touched on this already, but Howard obviously coming in with the record that they're coming in, no underestimating any team, right? When it comes to whatever their record is, especially in MEAC play. Why is that rule applied for Howard?
Man, it's for anybody, whether we're playing, the number, whatever, 6th ranked team, Townsend, or we playing Howard. We're going to prepare the same. The guys have to be mentally locked in. And, like you said, they're a hungry team. And they're a talented football team. They're just, like I said, young. I think they have a really good quarterback that can, beat you with his feet. And he made several huge plays against A&T last week. They have a receiver, Kyle Anthony, and big receiver that can run. He's second in the conference with the receptions. So, they have talent over there. And, again, their coaching staff is pretty good. So, we're going to have to come to play.
Is the system much different from last year? I guess you just said last year, but
I did.
okay. Is that system much different from last year with the new staff?
Yeah, it's a lot different. They're a little bit more pro style now. They're going to play with to keep a tight end in the game. Last year they had was Kalen Newton, and they tried to do a little bit quarterback design runs with him. Schematically is very much so different. But they do a good job of trying to attack you sideline to sideline and figure out how to get leverage on you. So I think they do a really good job, though.
I guess all road games are tough. Anything particular about Howard playing DC in that environment? It kind of has any additional challenges to your guys going on the road?
Well, I talked to the staff today, and every time you go play Howard or Delaware State, it's always cool and it's always very windy. So we talked about in the return game, having a plan with that, having a plan with our kicking game as far as with the win and against the win, and things of that nature. So we need to go ahead and start today, this week early, preparing our guys, let them know, it's going to be cool out there. So let's not even come out in the locker room talking about how cold it is for my Florida guys. It's going to be windy. So, we have to do a really good job of, checking the wind, as far as taking shots downfield, when we're going to be able to take shots due to the wind. So, we have to have a game plan with everything. And to avoid any distractions and keep our young men locked in, we got to talk about everything.
You kind of learn from the road win at Morgan that you can kind of carry over to make sure you had the same kind of success to this road win. This road trip at Howard. Because I imagine playing on the road, it's different. You have to have a different mentality, different practices, different procedures. We kind of learn and work at Morgan.
Oh, we try to keep, for the most part, our schedule's going to stay the same as far as practice and meetings, as far as when we eat, all those things. But once you've been on the road as much as you kind of get accustomed to it. But, nothing for the most part is going to change. We'll have an opportunity to take our guys to the museum in D.C. this weekend, so we'll try to let them see some things and spend a little time away from football, I guess you could say. But we're excited about getting on the road, and our DC alumni chapter is outstanding. We'll be well represented up there with our alumni.
Who's the biggest development that you are most proud of with this team heading into the final month of the regular season?
The biggest thing I'm most pleased about is how we've come together as a team. And I think these are a real close-knit group of guys, and that was one thing I stressed when I got here. When I first got here over the spring, it was like the guys hung together by position. You see the DBs off, hanging together. The O-line would be going to eat together. No, I shouldn't say go eat together. The O-line would be hanging out over here together. But a lot of guys hung together in segments. And now you see, kickers hanging with D linemen and long snappers hanging out with receivers. So we've really changed, and we talk about changing the culture around here, and that was one of the first things I wanted to change because we talk about family. So I think we have a close-knit group of guys here. And so we talk about football and we talk about X's and O's, but it's so much more to it, and we try to develop young men.
Weekly history lesson.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so last week I asked you about Delaware State, who hadn't won here since '77. This week you're playing Howard, who you guys have Central has a 7-game winning streak against, which is their longest against a conference opponent. Does that add the pressure to keep that streak going?
No pressure, Jonas. It's just the next game. So we'll like I said again, we'll prepare for this one, and like the rest of them, we don't talk a whole lot about what happened in the past, and they have a new staff, we have a new staff, they have a bunch of new players, and so do we. So whatever happened last year and the other 6 games before that, we don't worry about that. We just need to go up there, DC, this weekend and play extremely well.
This has been an exclusive presentation of the NCCU Sports Network.